So grade 9 students in Ontario will now learn how to use a credit card, manage debt, and take out a mortgage. It's all part of the new math curriculum that is going to begin in the fall. So looking back, how do you think you would have benefited from learning about these skills in school?
I think I would have benefited greatly. I think probably, if we're all honest, most of us would have benefited greatly. Canada, we're great in many ways, and yet when you look at household debt in this country, we're like one of the worst in the world. We are spoiled with low interest rates. People need to know what that means. And people also need to learn how they're abusing it as well and getting potentially into really serious financial trouble. But where does all that start? The basics. Do you have financial literacy 101? And if you don't, where do you get it? I think for a lot of us, we learn our first lessons about money from what's happening in the home. So if you're lucky to have a parent that has a bit of know-how and passes it along to you, you're really lucky. But if you don't, or worse yet, if your parents do have money troubles or they don't know how to manage money well, whether they've got a lot of it or not, by osmosis, that's kind of how we're learning our attitudes about money. And I was really lucky to have a mom and immigrant parents who to this day tell me cash is king. You don't rent. We buy our cars used. To this day, I have never had a brand new car. You don't rent, you buy. Like all of these things, you rebuild, you repurpose, you reuse. I had hand-me-down clothes, shoes, toys. Like that is the mentality that I was raised with. So I'm very lucky. But if more kids are learning this at the earliest ages, I think we can prevent a lot of trouble down the street. So finally, giving kids some real-world knowledge in school. It's long overdue.
Maybe not just kids. Like, I think I need to go to these classes because I don't know anything about mortgages or whatever. And the thing is, I'm all the things that you just said, Mel. Immigrant parents. My dad is a professional accountant. And I don't know anything about accounting.
Were you just not interested growing up?
Not interested.
Like, were you not
I was good at math. Like I actually I'm quite proficient at math, but I just anyway. I don't know if you told me, hey, Lainey, go get a mortgage. Oh. My dad did all my taxes. My parents did all of it for me. And now Jacek does it all for me. And if you told me to go get a mortgage, I would go to the bank and just be like, hey, I need a mortgage. What do I do? I had a talk with him earlier, because I told him what we were talking about on the show today. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to say I don't know anything. And he was like, don't make it sound like you live in a 1950s household and I'm the man who keeps everything from you. Because I will say, to his defense, he comes to me once a month being like, why don't we go through our finances and you can look at all the spreadsheets, and I will find any excuse. I'll be like, do you want an apple pie? I'll turn it into 1950s because I don't want to talk about it. I'm not interested.
Okay, Lainey,
Mel, I see you judging.
Listen, Lainey, I talk about this all the time. You're one of the smartest people I know. You're on top of everything in your life. And, you know, and you're a control freak, not in a bad way, in a good way, about so many aspects of your life. As a friend, I implore you, from woman to woman, please do not outsource this. I have seen far too many disaster stories where either from divorce or, God forbid, an unexpected death, that a woman is literally left completely in the dark with zero know-how about what her savings account balance is, what bank it's at, what is the bank account number. I have seen horror stories from women, for whatever reason, who have not taken a driver's seat in their own financial life. As a friend, I implore you, go back to grade 9, take these courses, and I will be so happy for you to finally get a clue.
I know. I can't dispute anything that you're saying. You know, I have no defense for myself. Like, there is no lawyer that could get me out of this mess. And the worst thing, you're right.
Your language.
If
you have to speak your language. But what if you followed your money so much more, which as in, like, you actually started following your money, period. Think of how many extra shoes that could garner you on the other side if your accounting was so up to snuff that you're like, actually,
I know,
I've got more disposable income than I thought, and now I could buy more shoes. I mean, there's rewards for being on top of your money.
You're right. I mean, he's really good at being on top of our money, but the problem is if he takes off with a neighbor or, you know, if
Irina
something
Shayk?
happens, yes, if Giselle shows up, I'm done for. You're right, Mel. It's over for me.
As long as when Lainey goes back to grade 9, we just have to film it like Billy Madison style.